Hey there, everyone. We have got another amazing installment of the Soul Sessions where I am coaching clients using Soul Blueprint to invite in your spiritual gifts. And today we have an absolutely amazing client who you are going to learn so much from. And I was so unbelievably activated by her energy and her vision. It's so unique, it's so fresh, it's so relevant. I feel like it's so leading edge. I'm so excited to share it all with you. And our guest today, Irene, is a knitting pattern designer. How freaking cool is that? So we walk through some of her resistance she has to showing up as her true authentic self on social media and just getting out there and really sharing this amazing vision she has. It's so aligned. It's so business relevant for today's market. But there was this voice in her head telling her that she can't dream that big. She can't do it. It was like socially conditioned. It was past lifetime. It was ancestry all coming together to say, you can't dream this big. Who are you to think that you could offer something so leading edge? Well, she is the exact one to think that because she's not even thinking it. She's receiving it from her higher self. So she's hearting it, if you will. So I'm really excited to share with you today's episode. So why don't we go ahead and get right to it? In today's episode, our soul session reveals how to invite in your spiritual gifts of healing, intuition, and teaching to release the resistance to showing up as your true authentic self on social media and activating your ability to offer your clients what your soul is truly yearning for. We'll end on an invitation that will have you connecting deeply to the people you were born to serve to create offers for them that change their lives forever. So please stay with me until the end. Hello, we're a global community of soul-guided leaders, coaches, healers, and entrepreneurs called the Soul Guide Circle. In the Soul Guide Circle, we're inviting in our spiritual gifts to get our clients even more results and transformation to create big referral buzz. Find a link to join our closed Facebook group at AllisonScammell.com or in the show notes. Today is a soul session where I am coaching a member of this community using Soul Blueprint and helping them to invite in their spiritual gifts. Today's soul client is Irene Nielsen. Irene is a Danish knitting pattern designer based in Italy, known for her timeless, self-nourishing designs. She creates elegant patterns for kindred spirits and sees knitting as a meditative, restorative art. And through her thoughtfully designed patterns, she helps makers reconnect with themselves, one gentle row at a time. How beautiful is that? Her intention is that you find peace and presence as you knit and a sense of coming home to yourself. As Irene says, every stitch is a small act of healing. Oh my gosh, what a great bio. I was so activated and inspired by Irene, her healing, her vision, the energy frequency we reach at the end of the session. I really hope you receive something amazing from this soul session. Hi, Irene. I'm so happy to see you.
Hi, Allison. Me too.
So we were chatting before I hit record about how we had met a few months ago, like in June, I think. Yeah. So
Yeah.
about 2 to 3 months ago. And you had asked me for an intuitive hit on whether or not you should attend a yarn fair. Now, some of our listeners might be a yarn fair. What is that? So tell our listeners what it is you do, why you
Yeah.
would want to go to a yarn fair.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm a knitting pattern designer. So I design knitting patterns. And normally on a yarn fair, you would sell yarn. So it would be like something you dyed yourself or something that you bought from someone and then you resell it, stuff like that. But in this case, I was invited to collaborate with someone who has her own yarn and she dyes her yarn. But to be there and have like this little shop with her me selling my patterns and her selling her yarn. Because normally on these fairs, not that many people just selling knitting patterns can attend. And this yarn fair is quite special. It was in Denmark, and you have to be invited.
And you live in Italy.
I live in Italy, yeah.
So it's not like a quick 2 hour drive, right? So got to get a
No,
plane.
but
Yeah, a lot of
yeah,
logistics. So just to
yeah,
kind of set things up for people. Yep.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. Luckily, I was in Denmark. I was supposed to be in Denmark at that time, so that was also why I applied. But
Oh,
in any
okay,
case,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So they accepted me, and then we talked about, no, actually, we talked about it whether I should accept it, right? Yeah,
And you asked me for an intuitive hit, and
yeah,
I got a clear yes.
yeah.
So tell us what happened then. So you're at the first day of the fair. What happens?
What happens? I felt that something was wrong with the energy. There were a lot of like, I don't know, famous people like in the business, in the knitting business. And they just didn't stop by, and not that I need famous people, but it was just like the energy was not right. And so what happened was that when I went back, I had like a 1 hour drive back from the fair to where I was supposed to sleep that night. And I was like, okay, I have to try this. I have to ask all my guides and all their friends if they can help me because I need tomorrow to be better. So I asked them actually to heal me because I felt that maybe my energy was not right for that setting. And I was like, okay, give me a sign. And the sign was supposed to be like a feather. And they showed me the feather. And I was like, okay, I might find that when I come back and in the garden or something like that. I didn't see that feather. So I was like, okay, are you going to help me or what? And then in the evening, I look on Instagram and then I have this new friend who's very like also alternative. And then she posts this feather and I'm like, you know what? This cannot be true. But that feather I've been looking for the whole night and now it's there. And she was like, this is for you for sure. This is for you. Yeah. And then the next day I went to that fair and it was different. It was really different. I felt it from like, even when I got into the car, I felt that something was different. And I went there and I actually, when I came there was a lady coming over to me and she said, I looked at your Instagram yesterday and I need this, that, and that, and that. And she bought like 5 patterns. So I don't remember how many, but it was like, she was really like, she came before it actually opened. So that was good. And I was like, okay, now we're rolling. and then in the afternoon, there was a lady coming and she came with one of my friends who was invited because he's a big star in this whole game. And I was allowed to invite him. And then for some reason, he couldn't come on Saturday. Luckily, he came on Sunday. And he brought this friend, and I didn't know he would bring a friend, but she comes over before him and she starts looking at my patterns and she's like, okay, do you sell to shops? And like I was like, yeah, well, some shops I do have some retails. And she was like, okay, because I have a shop. And then I understood who she was because I had seen her before. I just opened the shop and I would like 3 of each pattern to sell in my shop. It's like, okay, wow. Wow. And then my friend came over and I understood it all. And I was like, well, of course you had to come on Sunday and not on Saturday. So it was like everything was just right, at the end it was just perfect. Yeah. So it went quite well, I would say, at the end.
Well, and so much credit for you, by the way. You did everything right. You got this opportunity, you weren't sure about it. You had some time with me, and I can be as a spiritual mentor, I can be the untroubled space, right? I don't have I don't have any dog in this fight, as they say, or whether you should or should not go. So I can be completely neutral energy to help call in the guidance. I got clear guidance for you. Yes. But I did sense now that I reflect back, it was a yes and like, yes, and there's going to be some lessons for her. I'm like receiving that now, which I
Yeah.
didn't necessarily get at the time. But then you continue to do everything right. You went for the first day, and some people could have been like, oh, well, that was a bust. Saturday, the energy was off. I shouldn't have done this. This was the wrong choice. But you didn't. You called in your guides, you invited it in, which is what we're going to be doing today. You
Mhm.
got the guidance, you asked for a sign, You thought you didn't get it, but then you didn't give up. And isn't it funny how when we stop looking for it, it usually arrives? It
Yeah.
arrived. And then you went the next day in the right energy to just receive, and you did.
Yeah.
So good job, Irene.
Thank you. And I
You're
have to tell you
welcome.
something else, because we also talked about the prices. I should raise the prices and use a method that you gave me, and I did that as well. And I think that worked. I think I should maybe actually raise my prices again. But something else happened there. I could really feel like if someone was right for this pattern, and not that I won't sell to people even if they want to buy and they're not right, but it's just I felt it when the energy was right. And that was really new to me, because someone came over actually and I was like, no, she's not going to buy and she's not right for this pattern. She was there for like 10 minutes looking at it and, maybe I should buy it, maybe I shouldn't buy it. And I was like, she's not going to buy it and she's not right. I feel it. So I think that's a plus as well, that I can actually feel like who I should connect with, and yeah, stuff like that. So that was a lesson too.
That is an extraordinary lesson. And that gets us really nicely into the coaching we're going to do today. And one of the
Yeah.
things you mentioned you wanted to explore. And before we get into that, I just want to say one thing. Sometimes people say to me, "Oh, but Allison, you're a successful coach because you only coach other coaches." And I always say, that is so not true. I have clients who are selling all sorts of things. I have clients in corporate, nonprofit, government. I also have clients who are doing amazingly creative things outside of the coaching industry, like knitting pattern design. I have clients who own yoga studios. I've got like really lots of different types. And so there is this sort of idea in the entrepreneurial game that the only entrepreneurs making money are coaches who coach to other coaches. And that is really not true. And I just want to debunk that myth. If you're someone who doesn't coach to coaches and you do something else like knitting pattern design, or you are a health coach or a spiritual person who does astrology or human design, there's lots of people out there who need what you have to offer. And Irene just started to tap into what I call the soul client, which is that person you were just born to serve, who really just is an energetic match to your offers. And that's what we're going to be exploring into today. And we're going to invite in your spiritual gifts to do so. So you had mentioned that you were really interested in attracting more soul clients, but you feel like you're not earning enough and your social following is not converting into paying clients. Is that correct? And can you say a little bit more about how it's bringing you some dissatisfaction in your life?
Yeah, I think it's just because I see a huge difference between me being in some place live and then being behind the screen, To me, it's just not natural to be, for instance, on Instagram. And I'm quite resistant because yeah, actually I don't know why I'm resistant, because I know I can do it. So it's just a matter of doing it.
Okay, so you said the magic word. I'm resistant. I don't know why. Let's dig into
Mm,
that. So, to
okay.
do that, we're going to start out by inviting in your spiritual gift of healing to see what's there. If we can understand why you're resistant, that's better. But you know what? We don't even really need to understand why. We just need to release the resistance. But let's see if we can get a why. So go ahead and just start to sink into your body. Just feel what's happening, touching your fingers, touching your toes, just sinking in. And I would love for you to share with me the first thought that pops up when I say, I would love to grow my presence on Instagram in a way that feels good for me, but
Yeah, even before you said anything, I have this guy standing here knocking on my shoulder, like with a hammer or something like that. And we have a saying in Denmark that you shouldn't think you are something or something like that. Like, it's better to like just stay normal, and you shouldn't go above that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I shouldn't strive for something higher. I should be
Exactly.
content to where I am.
Yeah.
I love that your guide is knocking on you with a hammer. That means this guide is trying to get your attention
Yeah.
using a hammer. I love that. So let's go ahead and lean into that shadow. I shouldn't be on Instagram because who am I to think I should strive for something higher? Go into those moments in time where this feels true. I know it doesn't feel true all the time. We're going to go into those moments in time where it feels true. I shouldn't strive for more. I'm not allowed to do that. Other people can do it, but I can't. When that or a variation of that feels true, what emotions are triggered or where do you feel it physically in the body?
Here, like in my chest.
Okay. And what does that chest feel like?
Oh, very heavy. And like there is like it's really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just give yourself a permission to call up that heaviness, call up the resistance, call up the sadness from deep inside. Pull it to your conscious awareness. So pull it to those places of yourself where you can really feel it and just give yourself permission to feel the emotional sensations and the physical sensations. And as you feel the feels, I'm going to come in and just do an energy release here. Oh, yeah. Seeing a lot of blocked energy releasing from your system. I'm just looking into your energy system and I get a vision. I get a vision of your energy body, your energy aura. I see primarily, I start with your seven main chakras, and I see a lot of blocked energy in your throat chakra, which is that ability to show up on social media and create from authenticity. So, blockages there is gonna hold you back and create resistance. So I see some protectors up around your throat chakra, preventing your blocked energy from being released. So go ahead and set the intention to release your protectors. You don't need them anymore. I want to remind you that you are safe because you've got some past lifetime blockage in here, past lifetime blockage telling you that if you strive for more, you'll be physically harmed. So that's why this block can really hold you back because there is underneath all this a fear of physical harm for being seen on social media, for example. Yes. Wow. You had loads and loads and loads of protectors at your throat chakra from various traumas in your life, in your past life. And our protectors can often take a metaphorical shape. And what I see releasing from your throat chakra is birds. So it's funny that your symbol was the feather because you had a lot of bird protectors and they're all flying away with love. They protected you while you needed it, but you no longer need it. It no longer serves you to have these protectors. So they are flying away with love and we send them off with love. So just stay with me, Irene. Stay embodied. And I have a little bit more work to do here at your throat chakra. Ooh, throat chakra coming alive. Oh, yes, your energy is coming alive. I see a huge transition, and I don't see this very often. Usually, after a healing, I'll see just bright colors when your energy is going back into alignment. But I actually see like this beautiful white light coming out of your energy, like wrapped around your throat chakra. And I see this like flower, looks like a white lily with pink accents emerging from your throat chakra. This is something I rarely see. It's very beautiful. So, when you feel ready, Irene, I invite you to just start deep belly breathing. Long inhale in and inhale, exhale out, filling up the lower part of the belly. And as you deep belly breathe, I just invite you to sink deeper and deeper into the body and just feeling yourself getting heavier. and placing your awareness at your heart space at the center of your chest. And now I invite you to connect to your higher self. And Irene, I also invite you to connect to your soul client avatar. Just set the intention to connect to her or him or them energetically. Allow the energy to direct itself, it knows where to go. It's okay if you feel like you're not sure of who they are, just allow the energy to connect. And we're going to invite in your spiritual gift of intuition. And Irene, I would like to try to speak to your soul client avatar. And I want you to just perceive what you're receiving coming back in response. What do you sense? Just allow it to flow through you, staying in the body, in the heart, and out of the thinking mind. Just stay in the heart. Allow the heart to speak through you. So, soul client avatar of Irene, do you have a name?
Henne, it's very Danish.
Oh, I love it. Hennet.
Henne without the T.
Henna.
Hannah, but with an E at the end, not the
Oh,
A.
I'm so sorry.
That's
That's
okay.
like Hannah.
Yeah, yeah,
Henna.
Henne. Yeah, I know it's difficult.
I love it. Do you mind if I just say Hannah?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I like how you say it much better. So, Hannah, I love this energy of you. Are you someone who needs knitting pattern design?
Yes, but she says, like, I need Irene to help me out somehow.
Aha. So, are you a knitter yourself? Are you a store owner?
I'm a knitter and a store owner.
Aha. So lovely. So you're a knitter and a store owner. How do you need Irene to help you out? What do you need from her?
Her energy is fantastic.
Yeah, it is fantastic. I agree, Hannah. She has
Thank you.
fantastic energy. And what's a pain point you have that Irene is uniquely suited to help you solve, help you find a solution for?
She speaks on a different level.
Yeah. And why do you need that for knitting? How does that help you?
She says that's how people evolve. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It sounds like Irene's knitting pattern designs are more than just knitting. It seems like there's something deeper here, something spiritual.
And she's like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Hannah, what's a dream you have for yourself that Irene could help you attain or get closer to?
Being myself, she says.
Beautiful. And is there anything else you want Irene to know?
Yeah, I would like
Uh,
to
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
how to find her somehow.
So Hannah needs Irene's help find Hannah, find who she really is.
Yeah.
Through knitting?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is freaking amazing. I'm tingling.
But
Anything
she's
else?
showing me like there is something underneath. I mean, as I said before, it's not just knitting, but it's all the stuff underneath, that you cannot see. Yeah.
It's not just knitting, it's all the stuff underneath. So, is it using knitting to help people heal, help people find themselves?
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, absolutely.
So, okay, I think I need to talk to Irene now, but Hannah, anything else to share?
No, no.
Beautiful. So, Irene, take a deep breath. Wow, this is so cool. So, this sounds like you're being called to combine your knitting pattern design abilities with your spiritual abilities to
Yeah.
help people tap into themselves through knitting. I love it. Do you know that there's an intuitive language called clairtangency? And it's where we get, and a lot of people, most of us are very high in clairtangency because our physical body is so intuitive, but we don't know how to tap into the intuitive gifts inside the physical body, and teaching people how to using their hands, touching things such as yarn and needles is a really powerful way for people to tap into their clairtangency, which is to receive intuitive messages from our sense of physical touch. And I just feel like, wow, that's just like there's a million different ways you could go with this, but that was just one idea that came through me, like how powerful that could be. Is this something you've thought about before?
Yeah, that was actually the feeling I had, that these knitting patterns are not just knitting patterns. There is something else, and I couldn't really describe it, or like I didn't maybe fully understand what it is, and maybe I don't have to understand it, but and I don't even know if I do something or if it happens automatically, Is it just when I make a knitting pattern, then all this underneath stuff is already there, I guess?
I have goosebumps from head to toe right now because I love this concept so much. So I have to tell you, my daughter wants to become a performer. She's really into theater and music and dance. We live in the Netherlands, so she loves Holland's Got Talent. And we're able to live stream from the United States, America's Got Talent, and we watch Britain's Got Talent. I don't know, do you have Italy's Got Talent?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Yes.
in a lot of countries around the world. And I love to watch this as an entrepreneur because all the acts at that level are equally good in terms of quality. I mean, when you get to those finals, they're all amazing. But what makes the winner the winner? It's those who do something unique. It's the unique selling point, takes them from everybody being extraordinary in their field to like extra super duper extraordinary. And I feel like the coaching industry is not much different. It's quite saturated. There's a lot of amazing coaches out there. And I should say the entrepreneurial, the services, people who are offering products and services, budding entrepreneurs. It's a saturated industry, right? In many ways. But if you can find a way to just have that unique selling point, to offer something that is a little different. It's a little elevated. It's a little unique. And this has just got that for me as I experience it. And I'm just like, I don't know how your energy feels right now, but I just feel like energetically charged right now from your vision, which is maybe part of your magic. You have this like activating energy to you. So I'm sure the listeners are feeling this too. Your energy like charges out. And so if you infuse that into something, you could really infuse it into anything, but infusing it into something like a knitting pattern, that is like crazy powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. But is it something that I need to figure out, or is it something that is happening? Yeah, right. Yeah.
So clear to me. You don't have to figure anything out.
Yeah.
It's
One
just
thing,
going to happen. It's going to
yeah.
organically. I think the message I'm getting for you, Irene, is just keep creating.
Mm,
It's going to all come out in the creative process.
yeah.
And that's exactly all everything that I've ever done in my coaching career and the designing of Soul Blueprint and my certification program, it all came out in the creative process. I did a couple channelings here and there. I got the original for Soul Blueprint. I kind of got the original guidelines and channel from source. That was a little bit, but for me, Soul Blueprint isn't channeled completely. It was a co-creation with the divine. And I was co-creating it through serving clients, through, client session after client session. It just birthed naturally. And I'm getting the message that you're going to have a very similar process where you're going to get guide messages here and there to guide you on your path. We need that. And it's going to come out of you organically as you create, as you design patterns, as you offer, as you are already connecting and energetically to your soul client avatar. You're already feeling it. Like
Mm,
you have a wonderful, when we were talking to Hannah, that was a wonderful, pure channel. I can tell when the head is coming in to filter to try to figure out what it thinks the answer should be, and you were not doing that. That was a pure connection to Hannah because you've tapped into that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Because lately, after that yarn festival, I have been more, how do you say that? More specific on being a little bit alternative. Do you think it's okay to go that direction? I know that some people will like leave, but for instance, on my Instagram, I put Irene Nielsen, knitting pattern designer, knitting patterns for old souls or for the old soul, something like that. I feel it's more in line with me, but maybe.
Honey, so clear. Let those other people go. Let
Yeah,
them go.
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. You don't need them, and they're great. And they're going to find their knitting patterns that are in alignment to them. But this is, listen, my daughter has always said, Mama, let's learn how to knit. And I knitted years ago. I knitted, but like this is the thing I would 100% sign up with my daughter. I mean, if you've got knitting for dummies and beginners, that would be me. This is 100% what I would sign up for. And all the listeners of this podcast, they would want to learn from you. They would want your designs. And I just feel so activated from tip to toe right now from this idea, which I love so much, and also from your energy. And this is part of your unique genius, which comes from your spiritual gift of teaching and your spiritual gift of leadership, which is your true essence. You have this just charging, penetrating energy that just penetrates through the work you do, the creations, the way you connect to others. So if you infuse this, just that natural you into your patterns, the people who receive it are just going to get electrified from you. That's going to be a spiritual experience, whether they know it or not. I believe it's magnificently great.
Yeah.
You're a manifester. I'm just looking at your human design chart. So again, manifestors, you have that initiating energy. So what you want to do, Irene, is follow that creative flow. You have a direct connection to the creative flow. This is such like, I feel like this concept of it's not just knitting. That should be another tagline for you. That's what
That's
Hannah
a good
said.
one. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's not just knitting.
Yeah.
And follow that creative flow. And you need to follow, and then following your strategy along the way, which is to inform. This is a great informing being on this podcast, informing, hey, right? And just informing others what you're going to do, putting it on your Instagram for old souls. I love that. Continue to inform and follow that creative flow. Notice when your not self theme pops up anger, that means
Yeah.
somebody or something is disrupting your creative flow, and that's okay. It probably means you just didn't follow your strategy to inform, and somebody didn't know what was going on and they disrupted, and that's okay because then that can just help you pop back into alignment. So, Irene, this has just been so incredible. I would love to get some juicy buffalo steps for you. That's my word for homework to help you get going on Instagram. Now, I know that what your concept is so much more than Instagram. However, I also believe, and I'm receiving this message intuitively for you, that you have a lot of clients who are ready to follow you on Instagram and buy from you from Instagram. And so, what your guides are calling you towards, and you can double check if this feels right, is to really get authentic on Instagram. And that's what's going to get people following and then clicking to learn more about you, clicking to your website. So, if you were to think about that, because you had said at the start of the call, it just doesn't feel natural.
Yeah.
What could you create on Instagram? What could you share to the Hannahs of the world? Now you're only speaking to the Hannahs. We don't care about the other people. And if you were just creating directly for her and you knew she was on Instagram and she was going to see you and follow you on Instagram and get inspired by you, what would feel inspiring for you to create and share for her on that platform?
I have this thing about my inner grandma that it's like something inside me gets satisfied when I knit. And I think it's in line with what we talked about before. So I call it my inner grandma, but it could be called whatever. And I feel like speaking to that one, I also saw her like a bit like a grandma. This one, like if I could speak directly to that, that would be good. That would be me. How do you
I
say that?
love that.
Mm.
I love that concept. Inner grandma. I've not heard that before. You
No? Ah,
no. And listen, hey, look, I consume a lot of spiritual stuff. I've never heard inner grandma. I love it. What does it mean? How do you do it? How do you do it when you knit? Share, share, share. Why are you passionate about it? How does it make your life better? Just use the inner grandma to like, you know, buffalo step for you. Irene, after
yes.
this call,
Mm.
as a journal prompt, are you someone who likes journaling or is journaling not really your thing?
It's not really my thing.
Okay, so what do you do when you like to explore? You have a defined head center in ajna, which I do too. So we're great thinkers and we love to just think and then explore about an idea. So what's your favorite way to think and explore about an idea?
It just happens. I mean, I don't need any specific setting, or it's there. It goes on.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let me give I'm going to hand this over to you. This question for your exploration. And then your buffalo step is just to allow the inspiration to arrive to you when it arrives and to take a moment to notice it.
Mhm.
And then if you get any like ahas, take a little note. It's not journaling, it's just taking a little note. So you make sure to capture the idea and it doesn't, pass away or float by you. So my question for your inspirational exploration is if you were to create a couple weeks worth of content for Instagram exploring your inner grandma, and this content was directly for Hannah, and it was just you having fun, being passionate, showing up in your authenticity, what would that look like? What could that look like? Video, photos, writings, and it would just feel easeful, not easy, right? Because we're
Mm.
growing and it's, we're confronting fears, so you might have to confront a fear, you might have to do some alignment. So it's not about being easy, it's about being easeful. What would feel easeful for you? And in fact, to get started, it would feel so easeful, it would be silly not to do it. That is your buffalo step. How does that feel?
Yeah. I know what I feel like I have to be on camera.
I do
Um,
too.
yeah.
You're amazing on camera, girl. You're beautiful and you have a ray of light around you and you've got this penetrating energy. You are meant to be on camera and knitting on camera. I mean, it's so cool. There's colors, there's action. There are textures. I would love to watch something like that. And then if you're talking about spiritual stuff, oh, I'd be hooked. I would be so hooked.
Okay. Yeah. But I really feel that okay, I know that I have to do this, but wow. It's yeah. Yeah.
You feed the big vegetarian elephant who needs about, 2 tons of grass a day, one bite at a time. So just
Okay.
imagine you're just taking one bite of grass at a time and you have such a beautiful connection to the divine. Some people are going through a lot. A lot of my clients are pretty blocked up right now and they're just not getting that guidance. It's not coming through. And we all go through those periods. So, but your connection to the divine is very sharp right now and it's
Yeah.
flowing through you. I feel that. Use it. Use your divine guidance team. Delegate tasks for them. If you can't figure something out, tell them, give it to them. Say, I can't figure this out. Tell me how to do it. Tell them what you need. I need help with this technical thing. Send me a resource. Delegate, 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 and then ask, ask, ask. What am I calling to do now? What am I calling to create? Give me some guidance on how to do that. Allow the insights to come in because they will, and that will just guide you forward one bite of the elephant at a time.
I really love that you say that because I have felt like somehow alone in my business and oh no, I have to do everything myself and I cannot delegate. But when you say that, it totally makes sense. I can delegate to whoever is out there.
You
Yay.
absolutely can. And in
Yeah.
fact, I haven't done this in a while, but you're inspiring me to do this again. I'm someone, okay, so you have one, okay, you've got two left arrows. So that means that you like you're a half half. Half of you just likes to be in flow and in the experience and what's going to happen next, and the other half of you likes some structures and some systems. And I want to be have it organized this way. So I have three arrows. So I'm 75% structures and 25% flow. So I love me some structures. And so I'm a big into planners and to-do lists. They bring me joy. But if you're right arrowed and they don't bring you joy, then follow your arrows. They'll guide you to what's right for you.
Like to
Um,
do list.
you do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, got it. I do too. So here's a little trick for you and for the listeners. And if you're right arrowed and you don't really like to-do lists, give it a try. You might find that this actually works for your right arrows. Create your regular to-do list and make a line down the middle. And on the right is all the stuff that just needs to get done in a day, right? Your to-do list. And then on the left, and then go through those and either circle them or star them, all the things that you're going to delegate to the universe, delegate to your guides, and write that on the left. So you're left with your to-do list. So everything is still there on the right, right? But the things that you've delegated is marked. Maybe it's got a highlight through it somehow. And then the stuff that is just for you is there, right? And then you've got the list for the universe.
Okay.
How does that feel?
Yeah, great.
So, Irene, oh my gosh, thank you so much. This has been such an extraordinary session. I received so much from it personally. I hope you did too. How do you feel?
I feel great. I mean, it was amazing, really. Thank you.
You're so welcome. And if listeners are interested in learning about this inner grandma, about, knitting for old souls, how can they connect with you?
On Instagram, it's underscore Irene underscore Nielsen underscore.
We're going to link that in the show notes, everybody. All right. You're amazing. Thank you again so much
Thank
for
you.
being on Soul Guide Radio.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you so much, dear listener, for tuning in each and every week. If you would like to be considered as a future soul client in a soul session, send me a DM or an email at allison@allisonscampbell.com and say, I would like to be coached in a soul session. I look forward to hearing from you. And if you're feeling so inspired by this episode, by the magic we make here, head on over to wherever it is you listen, hit subscribe, and leave us a rating and review. I will read your review on the air with loads and loads of love and gratitude. And as always, until next time, may your soul guide the way.